Straight from the boot, sucking crawfish head. Ain't shit fake, bitch, I'm cornbread fed. Let me go to the candy lady, baby. We call everybody, baby. One thing about it and two things for sure. Bitch, if you ugly, then bitch, you know who gon' pop me is real wide. Don't know where it come from, girl, die. We the only folks that call it cold drinks, lemonade stands, and
what's up, y'all, and welcome to the first episode of the Becoming Lab podcast. I'm so excited for y'all to be here today. I'm so elated. Thank y'all so much. Like, it means the world for me for y'all being here. So I came today with a guest. First, let me tell you what this podcast is about. This podcast is about individuals, mostly in the creative realm, but I'll be reaching outside of that also. But individuals that are in the process of becoming or have became, and we're still becoming because every day we're evolving, right? So talking about their process of becoming, how did they get from where they were to where they are now? How did they overcome those doubts, fears, questions, etc.? And how are we still overcoming them today? Because again, evolution is a daily thing. It's not something, it's not a destination. It's a part of the journey. So today I have one of my homies with me. I've known him for such a long time. I don't know how many, it's been like 6 years, 7
Maybe
years.
a little longer.
Maybe a little longer than that.
Yeah.
But I've known him for a long time, and I've watched him. He tell me that I inspired him, but he had his photography business before I even touched the camera. And seeing him, create his calendars and create these sets and design, creative designs. With his models, really inspired me to step outside the box of just doing events and start creating my own passion projects and such or whatever. So here we are on the podcast, a passion project. So, none other. I have my friend. He's a photographer. He's a photographer. He got a 9-to-5. He do fitness lifestyle. He do Amazon. He do all of the above. Like, this dude I don't know when he sleep. They say I don't sleep, but this dude never sleep because like he don't sleep, he don't stop, he always going. So I have right here my friend, none other than my friend. I call him Duty, but y'all don't call him that because y'all don't know him like that. His name is Wendell. His business is Top Optics Photography. So what's been going on, man? What's going on?
No, I'm good. I'm like you, hustling, grinding, trying to make it happen.
Cause it's hard out here for a pimp,
Yeah.
And I'm out here, I'm running. I can't.
You
stop
making it? We here, right?
Oh shit! I tell people this, to the outside, it look like you making great strides and stuff, but like to yourself, you be like, damn, what I gotta do next? Give us a quick intro of yourself. I know that you're from New Orleans or whatever, so just tell us about some of your beginnings in New Orleans. What did that look like for you?
Okay, so again, like you said, I'm Wendell, but my close friends call me Duty, or if you follow me on social media, is that. Originally from New Orleans, but I've been here in Houston for about 15 years now, so it's been a while, but.
Man, he left and ain't looked back.
Yeah, I love home, but
right.
I just don't want to move back.
They got that little meme going around now talking about some Louisiana is a great. I love Louisiana, or whatever, but I'll never say it. Something like
I get it.
I get it.
My family's still there. I still like to go back and visit, but me personally living, I don't see myself living there more. Only because I like it out here in Houston, and I just feel like there's more opportunities other places to do things that I want to do. So, yeah.
Right, and out here, he said we in Houston, you never leave on the Sunday. And like, you know what I'm saying? And now it's going to be other days too, whatever, because like, now the city be popping on the Thursday for no reason. Like, what's going on the Thursday?
No,
like, why?
outside.
They got live music and extra, like they got everything that be going on a Thursday. Like, do you know I still got to wake up tomorrow to get ready for the weekend to be out all weekend? So, hopefully.
Listen.
But I'm an introvert, so I be in the house,
Me too. Don't call me if you come to Houston saying you need to find somewhere to go.
Because
I'm going to just ask somebody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
For real. So we're going to get into, dig into a little bit because this is the 20th anniversary of Katrina also.
Right.
And, they just had the release of the documentary on Disney Plus. Did you watch it?
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't want to be traumatized from it.
And you know, it's good that you say that because I actually saw a lot of people that actually experienced it and was in it was like, you know, I don't want to watch that because I don't want to
Right.
basically experience that again.
So I personally didn't experience it because, like I said, I was born in New Orleans and I lived there the majority of my childhood up till I was like maybe high school, and then I relocated to Florida and I lived there for some years for my high school years. So I actually wasn't currently in New Orleans when Katrina hit. I was living in Florida, but my whole family was there. So you know, when the phones went down, when people went missing, like I didn't talk to family for months and we didn't know if they was dead or not. So like just the whole idea of everything. That's why I say I didn't want to watch it be traumatized because I know people firsthand that dealt with it. So it's like, I don't want to see it that way.
Right. You know what Hammond is, right? Hammond, Louisiana.
Oh, Hammond, yeah.
So I was in. My dad lived in Hammond, so I was in Hammond at the time. But like it was so like we didn't have lights for like I think it was I want to say it was about a good 2-3 weeks we didn't have lights.
Sheesh.
And we was like that far away and we didn't have lights at the time T-Mobile had like the cheapest plan for like a high schooler because you know and then you know you had the what you call that motherfucking phone, the sidekick. You had the sidekick and shit or whatever.
See,
and, you know,
I had the BlackBerry and then I had the chirp.
Oh, you was real fancy.
I had the Nextel chirp.
Bro, let me tell you, my cousin had the chirp. My cousin had that Nextel chirp, and I wanted that phone.
You was
so
legit with the chirp.
Bad, bro. You wasn't shit if you ain't had that chirp.
Listen.
And I thought I was the bum because I had that fucking Nokia phone that you could like throw against the wall and bit somebody's brain with.
Not the one with the pit snake on it.
Yeah, exactly. Let me tell you. So, you know, I thought I was the shit because I had that phone. My cousin got that Nextel chirp or whatever. She was chirping her nigga. And I'm like, shit, I want to chirp some fucking body or whatever. Like, I couldn't walk and talk to her, none of that shit. And then they had came out with an app where you can like chirp or walkie-talkie to somebody.
Walkie-talkie to other people. Yeah.
I was like, I forgot what the fuck the name of that
That's crazy
app
that
was.
you say that because it's kind of like before, like iPhone is what I've messaged now was with chirp.
Right. Yeah. Oh, you were so exclusive that you had that shit. I was so mad, and I never got that phone. Never got it. I never was able to get that phone.
One of my favorite phones.
My dad ain't never give me that phone. So, but I was on the little T-Mobile plan or whatever. So, at the time of Katrina, whatever, I didn't get no service, but my dad, whatever, you know, he was the one making the money, of course. So he had Verizon, so his phone was like literally the only phone that was working during the storm.
Yeah.
And everybody else was down. So I do remember it from like from the distance that even I experienced it in. It was a very trying and traumatizing time because you ain't know when the lights was gonna come back on. You ain't know when things was gonna return to normal, so to say. And so that was my first big hurricane experience. Well, that I can remember because I did. Yeah, right, like that.
Yeah, we kind of always used to hurricanes,
right.
We never think it was gonna be something that
Right.
catastrophic.
So from your transition from the things that happened in New Orleans and Katrina and things of that nature to your you eventually moved back to New Orleans.
Right.
So how was that different for you when you moved back?
For me, like I said, I was in Florida when Katrina hit, and then it actually happened my senior year of high school.
Okay.
So by the time I graduated high school, of course, the city was starting to open back up, stuff like that. And I did a semester of college out in Florida, and then I just kind of to me, Florida was like the retirement state. Like my mom moved there to live and retire. It was kind of boring to me. I was young. I wanted to be in the city. So it was like, okay, I don't want to do the school thing. I'm going back home. So I ended up moving back to New Orleans, and it just wasn't the same. Like New Orleans will always be New Orleans, but it just, the whole vibe of it, I felt it wasn't the same as it was before Katrina. But I stayed for like 5 years, and I kind of done a whole bunch of stuff, work odd jobs here and there, club too much. I started doing a lot too much at a time, but I was young, so I enjoyed myself. But it got to a point to where it was like, okay, I had to make some type of change, and my goal was to get out of New Orleans, but I had never been anywhere else because anybody from New Orleans really. Prior to Katrina, you never been outside New Orleans.
Right.
We didn't never have money to take vacations or do nothing, so that's all we knew. So being outside of it kind of give you a broader, bird's eye view of everything else that's around outside of the city and what's more to offer. So from that point of view, I was like, okay, I need to make a move and go. And my choices, only places I knew people was really Atlanta, Houston, and my best friend at the time was in Houston from Katrina. So that's how I ended up in Houston, and I've been here since. Well, I stayed here for a year, and I feel like everybody in New Orleans do this. They move to Houston or move somewhere, and they be there for a year or so, and they kind of get homesick, and they move back. But then you kind of had that reality check of being back and seeing what's the difference.
Like,
so,
ain't nothing different.
yeah, I
Like,
stayed in Houston for a year and went back, but I only lasted in New Orleans for like 3 months, and I was like, yeah, this ain't it. But it was good that I went back because, like I said, when I came to Houston, I kind of did the same thing that I was doing in New Orleans. I kind of got like an odd job. I was working, I was going to the clubs, but I was still young, so I'm not faulting myself now. But as I look back on it, it's kind of like, okay, I went through that, but my second time coming back, I felt like, okay, if I'm going back to Houston, I can't come back, and I have to have a purpose. So I had a plan coming back of what was I gonna do to leverage myself.
Boom, boom. So let's talk about like was a part of your plan picking up the camera, or how did that come into play?
Not at all. Actually, it been a while. Like, my journey has layers. It started with me, like I said, I moved to Houston, and it started with me, like I said, my goal was to find something to do. I didn't like college at the time. I'm not a school person. So it was find some type of trade that I can do to make money that I'm guaranteed a job. And I knew that Houston and Texas in general was big on medical field. You always kind of guarantee some type of job. So I just picked up a trade, and like I did like medical assistant stuff at first, but then I realized I ain't dealing with people's blood and all that all day. So I'm like, let me do the paperwork side because I.
Man, hold on. Let's pause right here, because I remember when I was younger, my you know how like your grandparents, they kind of like coach you through saying your prayers or whatever whenever you first start learning to say your prayers or whatever. So a part of my prayers always when I was younger was let my daddy finish nursing school, whatever, blah blah blah, whatever. So I remember they had it instilled in me like real hard or whatever. Like my daddy used to ask me, and I used to know the answer on the dime. What you want to be when you grow up? A doctor?
Shit, till you see what they have to do.
What you want to be when you grow up? A doctor? But bro, when I tell you I can't deal with other people throw up, I don't like smells, I don't like bodily fluids, I can't deal with seeing like somebody's like ligaments and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
How did I
Same here. I took my first course in that. When they were saying that, I was like, yeah, let me change it.
Bro, like I was like, when I sit down and think about it, like as an adult, like bro, like I could never be a doctor. Like that wouldn't be a profession that I would ever seek out for myself.
Hands off to them people though that do it.
Definitely.
Somebody got to do it.
Y'all the real MVP.
I can't do it.
Because I can't.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Oh.
I pretty much like when I changed it to medical billing pretty much, and then I started my journey in that, I was in a program where I was doing it, and I pretty much was forced. I was hustling. I worked overnight as security guard overnight and would get off at 7 a.m. and start class at 7:30. Yeah. Be there for half a day. It was like around the top hustle for like almost 2 years or whatever. But during that time, like I said, I'm working overnight. So I'm like eating unhealthy. I'm doing type of shit. I'm not getting no rest. Like, and I gained a lot of weight. And I started to feel like fat as fuck, honestly. But I started this journey of me wanting to lose weight. And I was introduced to the Herbalife situation at first, and it helped me lose weight using their products. And I heard about the business opportunity. I always used to ask my mom a hustler, because my mom is a hustler too. Like, she'll sell you a supper plate. She'll notarize your paperwork for you. Like, she do all type of hustle.
Baby, all streams of income.
Right. So I used to always tell my mom, like when I used to be on Wits End, like our money was short. I'm like, dang, I wish I had a skill that I had that I can make extra money to always have extra income coming in. So when I was losing the weight, I started the social media journey. Instagram started, and I started, pretty much using it for a guide for myself on the journey. But then my following grew because people started paying attention to my results. So from that, when people was asking, I'm like, shit, I might as well sell these products and get extra money from it. So that's how I got into that span of it, and I lost weight, and that it built my following up on social media. But it wasn't until I joined the business doing that and started going into their seminars that they do all the time and listening to motivational speakers is until I tapped into my inner childhood where I found out okay, I used to like cameras and shit growing up. And I started getting into photography out of not for business, but just for a passion project to tap back into my childhood and things that I love. Because like you said, when we was younger, we know all these things we want to be. I used to be like, oh, I'm going to be a pharmacist, or I'm going to be this, or I'm going to be that. And then you grow up and you be like, this job ain't what I really thought it was going to be.
Right.
But it's like when you, at some point when you're a child, you had these dreams of just dream things you wanted to do or things you enjoy. But as you get older, you are told, it won't make you money, it won't do this. So now you're forced to go into fields that's not as exciting or fun. It's just about the money. So from there, it's like, okay, let me tap back into something that's fun that I enjoy doing that's not just about the money. And that's how the photography stuff came about.
Yeah. I think that journey of refinding yourself and refiguring out, like, what is it that, like, what is it that I was told that I would do or like
what
to
I
do?
enjoy
like
doing.
What did I just thoroughly enjoy doing?
Right.
It's hard for, and especially I say as millennials because I'm a millennial, but I'm pretty sure that other generations had to do with some sort of this, especially in the old generation or whatever. Like your parents basically told you who you was gonna marry,
right,
et cetera, et cetera. So as generations go on and we start to get away from that traditional sense of living in every form and fashion, for me, I found that whenever I focus on what my parents told me to do or what I felt like was gonna make my parents happy, type of thing, whatever, make them proud of me being that son. You know what I'm saying? Like when I thought about those things, like I was miserable, but I was making them proud though, because I was making the money. I had a nice ass apartment, but I was miserable. And I'll never forget one morning I called my mama, or whatever. This is how miserable it was. One morning I called my mom and I was like, I said, if I had the courage, I would take my life right now. And that's something for you to tell your mama of all people. But that's how serious I was though. Like I was like, I just felt like I just could not do this anymore.
It comes to a point in life, like I think sometimes it comes with age and it comes with like just going through life situations where you realize it's kind of like you can't live a life for nobody else. Pretty much, you got to do what make you happy, no matter what it is. And even when you're doing something, especially like being a creative, or something. Most of the time, it takes a lot of work. The income is not all the way there of what everybody expect you're supposed to make. They don't think it's of it a real career or something. But you have to always remember that everybody don't always see what you see, what God give you the vision to see. So you can't go off of what everybody else tell you to do. You got to do what's in your heart and what you feel is good. And as long as you're consistent with it, then it can grow into what you can dream of it to be. But you have to work on it. You can't just like, I want this, or say I'm dreaming and you not taking action. Like example of right now, like you have your goal, but like we're sitting here on this podcast right now. It's your vision that you're putting into work. You're not just saying, I want a podcast, I'm doing it. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
This episode was sponsored in part by Tapped In Smoke Shop. Check them out for all your smoke needs.
Part of becoming is unlearning what our parents, and I never hold my parents at fault for anything or whatever, because I really do believe that my parents did the best that they could with the information that they had, in the time frame that we were living in. And as an adult now, I see that this shit ain't easy.
It ain't.
At all. So the fact that they was able to get me to wherever the fuck I got to or whatever, like, is a miracle in itself. Like, that hats off to my mama, daddy, and everybody that was a part of raising me.
And shout out to the parents though that like they instill with you what they want you to do, but when you come to them and say what your passions are, what you do, they support you.
Yeah.
Because some people aren't as blessed to be like have that support system, and some of us do. So
that's true.
Shout out to the parents that do support their kids and the things that they do.
That was a good point out. Because I've seen it, and I've seen people navigate to or gravitate to, like my mom, for example, whatever, because my mama.
Oh, your mom is real
nice.
You
know what I'm saying? Like,
nice.
Thank you. Shout out to my mom. But people gravitate to her. A lot of my friends gravitate to her because, in my journey of, yes, I'm a gay man or whatever. So my journey of coming into there was never a moment of like me coming out the closet, so to say. I never had that experience. It was just more so of just solidifying this is who I am, if that makes sense. Like
they love you, they gonna love you.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Some people have it that way. But,
Yeah.
you know, like I say, you blessed that you be the ones that have supportive people.
Right.
You know what
exactly.
I'm saying?
So in your journey, okay, so that's when you first picked up the camera because of your fitness journey. So what did your fitness journey teach you? Because I know you said before then or whatever, like, you know, you was going to the club, doing everything or whatever, and eating unhealthy that was causing you to go down this lifestyle to make you be like, okay, I need to change. So what about your fitness journey taught you, like, you know, like, what did it teach you about discipline and consistency? Like,
Man, it honestly, like I tell you, to that chapter of my life was the catapult to everything else that I'm doing now, honestly. Because it taught me discipline. It taught me, like I said, not only just discipline with just eating, it's like discipline with life and anything that you do, like you have to be disciplined. And like I said, once I tapped into, when I got to the business side, when I was doing the Herbalife situation, it was, I had never been to places to where I never as a grown man knew about what personal development was. So at first when I tapped into it, it was kind of like, oh, I'm listening to these people talking. You know, when we young, you're not used to that, whatever. But if you challenge yourself to just sit and listen, even when it don't sound interesting sometimes, and you just put stuff in your brain, it'll change your perspective of how you look at every angle of life. Like, not just weight loss, but anything, how you carry yourself in a day-to-day life. And for me is, like I say, it started changing how I show up. Like, how I show up for other people, how I show up for myself. And it's like, when you had a discipline to do that, you can do it, but you can't, it's one of them things to where you can't start it and then take breaks and stop up. It's like, you have to be consistent. And anything that you do in life, like, you really have to be consistent with it. So yeah, you keep that drive and that motivation to just keep going, whatever it is.
so what was something, or not something, I don't want to be like we on a job interview. I hate those. But like, but like in your consistency, like, what did you see start to happen from your, like, when did the light come on? Like, oh, like, it don't feel good right now, but if I keep being consistent, you know, I'm consistent in it. Was it like when you started seeing results in your body? Or like what, like, or just a journey in that consistency?
I think it's more so for me the journey in general. Like, of course we want to look good, whatever. So of course at first it start feeling good when you see the difference in your body and stuff like that. But for me the biggest part was the mental change. So for me was, I started, and it's not an easy journey, like, at all. Like, when you start changing mentally, you start not fitting in with the people that you're around, or just the environments that you're in. Your whole everything changed, but then you reach this kind of fork in the road place to where it's kind of like, do I want more? Like, if you start, not to get religious, but if you into God or whatever, and then you doing personal development and you challenging yourself, now it start becoming more clear of who's for you, who's not for you, what places is for you, what's not. And sometimes you have to make a hard decision of, like, cut certain people and certain things out. And it can be friends that you had. Just because you've been friends with people or whatever for this amount of years.
Come to the camera, tell them.
It don't mean shit. Like, real shit. Like, because we learn and grow. And I was this person that always was, there's no new friends. Because it's like, I know who my core is, but as the older I got, my core got smaller. And then what I realized is that I'm not trying to make all these friends on a personal level, but it's good to have new friends, because new friends open up your mind to different things, or put you in new rooms, or it challenge you to think more than the crowd that you're used to. I don't never want to be the smartest person in the room. If I feel like I'm the smartest person in the room, I got to get out of Dodge, because I feel like all I'm doing is pouring out everything out my cup, and then I'm not getting anything in. And if I'm not having nobody pouring back into me, then like, what we doing here? Even as a friendship or whatever. It can be family, whatever. Sometimes you got to cut ties with people to elevate yourself to the levels you want to go to.
Right, exactly. Even in times in my own personal journey, and I'm not saying this to invalidate anything that you're saying, just to relate to you or whatever. Like, I've tried to bring friends, like, with me like pull them with me or whatever,
You
like
can't.
mention it.
Until they're ready.
Like until they're ready. And I learned that until they're ready. And I don't love them any less or anything of that nature.
Nah.
You know, I'm always still gonna be there, whatever the case may be, whatever. But like
Just realize y'all journeys are different.
Right,
The
it's
timing is
like-
different.
Like your timing just hasn't made it here yet.
Yeah.
Like timing doesn't mean like, oh, this is not the right time for you. Like as far as like time.
Oh, you gotta rush to get this done.
you know-
I'm not your friend. Like, no, it's not that.
I'm not talking about time like time up here.
Yeah.
Like your evolution, like you haven't reached that portion of your evolution
Right.
yet.
With me, so for me, with stuff like that, and when I say like about the cutting friends out when they're not at a level, don't just because, oh, my friend ain't this level, you ain't leveling up with me, you ain't
Right,
this level.
right,
Don't
right.
shit on your friends because, like you
Never.
said, you always want to
Never.
pull them up. But sometimes you're going to have cases where it's like your friends they say they're ready, but they're not ready for these levels. And you can put them in places to where you want them to elevate, but then they don't follow up. And it's not that you have completely cut them off, but you limit your time with them. Like I have different sets of friends. Like you can have friends that you party with. You can have
Yes.
friends that I go to business events with. Like I have like one of my best friends, honestly, we've been best friends over 15 years, right? And we live a mile away from each other now. But we don't see each other as much. And some people be like, dang, how is your best friend and y'all don't see each other but every couple months? Like, yeah, but when we do is we catch up, we have busy lives, we do different things. And that's my friend to where like, that's not my friend to where I have to go out and party with. We can have a good time when we together. But this my friends that I go to for like solid advice. We talk about
Exactly.
business. We talk about this. And
Yes.
like I said, being around people that elevate your mind.
Exactly.
You can still have your friends you party with,
Right.
but be with them on the weekend or every other weekend, however you want to do it.
Right.
But
Exactly.
you have to know how to, monitor your time of how you do it. Because if you spend too much time with the party people, what are you gonna be?
Right.
The party people.
Look, I highly believe in compartmentalizing friendships. I have a certain set of friends for that because we as individuals are multifaceted individuals, multidimensional, multifaceted. That's my belief.
Right.
And so one person, and this, I ain't getting into relationships. I'm not talking about polygamy or whatever the
Oh, shit.
however you say. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just friendship.
I'm here to interrupt this broadcast. Nah, I'm just playing, y'all. But I did want to come and talk to y'all. So my guest on here is duty today, as y'all already know by now. But he has a photography business. The name of his business is Top Optics Photography. He go him working right here doing his thing, and also right here doing his thing also, and also right here doing his thing. So he be doing his thing. You know what I mean? He go his page. He go some of the results of some of his stuff that he be doing. Y'all look how clean and fresh that look. So if you need some photos, go ahead and book with him. You heard me.
But one friend can't be everything for you. And then not only that friend is also living their own life.
Yeah, you got to
right?
give them grace.
Exactly. My best friend, my absolute best friend is married. They built a house. They got they got a life together and everything, whatever. I would be crazy to think that we gonna hang out like we used to. You know what I'm
They
saying?
have their own life. To live.
He literally has his own life. But like you said, we could go for months, weeks, whatever, without talking with her. But every time we do talk, it's like no time has passed. We picked up
Right.
right where we
And
left
that's a
off.
real friend.
And that's a real friend or whatever. And like you said, if ever I'm in a situation to where I need consolidation or I need solid advice, somebody that's not gonna be no motherfucking yes man.
Cut them out.
Right.
Cut them out.
That's what I call like the roots of who I am. Those people that has been there, that's gonna ain't no yes man. They gonna tell you
Yeah, you gotta have that core group of friends.
Yeah.
But when they're real, what they're gonna do is they're not gonna put you on blast in front of people. They're gonna always have your back.
Exactly.
But they're gonna be real and they're gonna put you to the side and be like, that wasn't right.
Exactly.
And if you real enough, you're gonna be able to hear what they're saying because it's a person that that cares about you and that want to see you grow. If you're a person that go against anybody that tell you what you're doing wrong, you'll never fucking grow.
Lastly, who are you still becoming?
I am a lot. Shit. It's a journey, but I'm still becoming me. And I take
Oh,
my.
that's good. I really like that. That was some good shit right there.
I take what I've learned is I'm taking this journey one day at a time. I may see something different I want to do tomorrow. I may want to look at things from a different perspective tomorrow, but it's all a journey to what you're going to become, and you're always going to be hit with different curveballs. So it's kind of like just be open to just being a better you, no matter what it is.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Please remember to subscribe, and remember, life is a lab, and you are the experiment.
Thank you, Duty, for being on the podcast, and I will see y'all next time on the Becoming Lab.
Talk real
Peace.
country. That's what make a melt.
That was really
Caramel
fucking good, bro.
brown skin like
That was really
Granny
good. I
Mills.
can't wait to see how
But my beard real long like my pawpaw nail.